T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I apologise about my lateness this week. I have gone onto a new setup and I'm really struggling to get it live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Despite setting up 2 events, doing it all properly, it doesn't seem to be working. So I have to apologise to everybody who normally watches on Facebook every morning, and there are loads of you, because I'm just live on YouTube here on my own. But how are you doing? It is Thursday morning and there is a lot of exciting things to talk about. Manchester United in talks with Aurelien Tchouameni. That's what I'm going to go for, Tchouameni. I might be completely wrong there, but how are you all doing, you beautiful ladies and gentlemen in the comments? It's going to be a busy show. I told you it was going to be a busy end to Manchester United's transfer window. I wasn't lying. And now we've got the Tchouameni talks that have come out. Camavinga, will talk about him again. Ruben Neves, will talk about him again. Pape Sarr, will talk about him. Andreas Pereira going to Flamengo. Paul Pogba and a new contract offer. Elanga on loan. Ahmad on loan. Garner on loan. There's a lot to talk about. So how are you all doing this morning? As I said, I apologise about my lateness. It's not really what I do normally, but for some reason, this isn't working on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So lucky everybody on YouTube, you're getting this just for yourselves. You let me know where you're watching from in the comments. I can see we've got Sandy Roy down there, proper geezer. We've got GJ, we've got Chris, we've got Takeoff, Sheku, Matthew, Victory. Good morning to all you regulars and good morning to everybody who is just tuning in for the first time. Make sure you drop a like on the video and you subscribe to United People's TV. But Aurelien Tchouameni, 21-year-old central midfielder from AS Monaco. Manchester United we were kind of linked with him a little bit earlier in the window, but his name was very randomly and tentatively linked to us. It wasn't huge in that sense. It didn't really accelerate at that point in time. But Manchester United are in talks to sign Tchouameni. Well, we're in talks with his agency. This is what reports coming out from Sasha Volieri? Sasha. Belgian journalist. Manchester United are interested in signing Aurelien Tchouameni and are in talks with his agency. It's possible that United will make an opening bid to Monaco for Tchouameni before the window closes, and he's confirmed it by replying to the tweet there. What do you think about Tchouameni? Obviously, not many of us would have watched him in any real great depth, would we? No, we wouldn't have. Let's be honest. Even if we've watched a couple of videos, we've watched his highlights video on YouTube. We've done, we haven't really watched him that much. Unless, you know, you're a big fan and you watch Monaco, really. But what I want to show you here is a really important thing that I think maybe has sort of dawned on me a little bit later than it should have about what Manchester United are doing with signing a defensive midfielder. I've gone on record to say that Manchester United, I think our title challenge, will fall short this season if we don't have a defensive midfielder. Maybe I was a little bit wrong about that, and let me explain that. So, you know, the rumours here come from Tchouameni. Very good, very exciting. Let's see what happens with them, because Manchester United need to sign a central midfielder. It's as simple as that. Or's in the comments. How you doing, Or? Saying he's an absolute quality player. Physically dominant and strong in the air. Maybe more French players in the squad will make Pogba want to stay. Hell, we've already got Varane. I don't think Tchouameni will make too much of a difference. But look, this is what I want to run through here. So let's quickly take a look at Tchouameni. And this is his heat map from last season in La Liga. You can see here, he operates more on the right-hand side. He's a right-footed player, so that's pretty natural. But as we've seen, and I want to just get this out straight away. I think we've seen a bit of a pattern with the central midfielders that Manchester United have been linked with this summer. Because we've been linked heavily with Camavinga. We've been linked quite heavily with Ruben Neves. Saul Niguez, I mean, you could call that pretty heavy if you want to, but not particularly. Declan Rice, we were never really linked with him massively. Everybody wanted the story about Rice to happen, but it didn't because he was too expensive. But there's a pattern. When you look at Aurelien Tchouameni, you compare him to Eduardo Camavinga and Ruben Neves, there's a clear pattern that I want to explain. So this is Tchouameni, and this is his heat map from last year in Ligue 1. Let's go to Camavinga. Let's go to his heat map from last year in Ligue 1. And you can see there, if we compare those two, there's certainly nobody there who's just sitting as a pure defensive midfielder. We go to Ruben Neves. We look at Ruben Neves' heat map from last year. Again, he operates more central, yes, but to help us improve, go away. Again, he's all over the park. So if we compare these three midfielders here, there's a clear pattern that you can get. And this is what I want to explain. It seems like Manchester United aren't going after a pure defensive midfielder. A Wilfred Ndidi who just sits there, sits deep, doesn't do much else. And that's his role. It looks like Manchester United are going after what I would say is a more dynamic central midfielder. Somebody who's not a pure out-and-out defensive midfielder, but somebody who has good defensive attributes to his game. And that's somewhere where Tchouameni certainly ticks the box. So let's have a quick look at that. We go down here. Tchouameni, we go down, and this is what I want to compare to, really. These are the important stats. Interceptions per game, tackles per game. This is last year. No, actually, no, it's this year. Oh, it's actually, Jesus, leveled up there. Right, let's go there. So last year, if you're looking at, you can't see that, so let me zoom in. Interceptions per game, tackles per game. Let me zoom in on all three of them, just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And this is, as I said, this is something, a kind of a pattern that I've seen developing with Manchester United and all the midfielders we've really been linked with, because in my heart of hearts, I always said we just need a pure out-and-out defensive midfielder. Maybe I've been slightly wrong about that. Look, let's see here in terms of the interceptions per game and the tackles per game from Ruben Neves. He's on 4.2 as a total. Camavinga, you're looking at 3.5 as a total. And Tchouameni, you're looking at 5.2 as a total. And if you're looking here at how he started this season in the first two games, he's up to even more. He's on 6.5 per game. Tchouameni is very much a physical, dominant midfielder who kind of moves around. He's not somebody who's just going to be sitting there not doing anything. Not doing anything. That's a bit unfair on Ndidi, but Ndidi is very much a dynamic box-to-box midfielder, if you want to call it. Look, Fabrizio seems to be tweeting just as I go live, which is really handy. Let me pull this one up because it's going to put a big spanner in the works. Where is it? Oh, God. What's going on here? 1 second. Working live. It always adds problems, doesn't it? Where is that disappearing to? Why won't you go over there? Come on. Oh, well, never mind. You're just going to have to believe me. Let me go back to the stream. So, Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted here. He's saying Manchester United are currently not working to sign Aurelien Tchouameni from AS Monaco this summer. No talks or direct contact as of now. Same for Corentin Tolisso. Well, fucking cheers, Fabrizio. You're making me look like a dick. Hey, what are you doing that tweet just as I go live? God damn it, Fabrizio, man. He didn't get my message. Anyway, I don't care what Fabrizio's saying. I'm comparing Tchouameni to Camavinga and Neves because it's the pattern, as I said, that I've seen. I don't really think that Manchester United are properly going after a defensive midfielder this summer because I don't think that Manchester United want a full defensive midfielder. It almost feels like Solskjaer's really settled on his double pivot, currently Freddie McTominay, and I think he wants to bring better players into that formation. No, we go. Not here we go. No, we go, says Ralph. Ha, exactly. Look, making me look like an idiot, Fabrizio, on my live stream. God damn. Got people here. You're embarrassing me. Anyway, you know what I think about Ruben Neves, and I feel that he's exactly what we need. Blows my mind that we've not gone after him properly, but it blows my mind that, well, a lot of what Manchester United have done in recent years in the transfer market. But Aurelien Tchouameni, apparently, here we know, not going after him, says Fabrizio. That's a bit confusing. But let's see what happens there. Let's see what develops. But look, I've said it all along. And look, if we want to skip forward to a positive thing that's really happened in the last 24 hours, and that's the fact that Andreas Pereira, he's going to Flamengo on loan. That's such an important thing. Fabrizio's and thank you, Fabrizio, for confirming that and then making me look like an idiot with Tchouameni. Anyway, he said the Man United have agreement in place. Final details to be sorted. It's going to be a loan move, so probably Andreas Pereira to Flamengo for a year-long loan and then see what happens after that. But I think he runs out of contract in like 2 years' time. So, unfortunately, for Pereira, I think that's the end of his Manchester United career. He's probably trying to force his way into the Brazil team. Apparently, is that the reason why he's gone to Brazil? He was linked with like Napoli, linked with Lazio. But look, anyway, Pereira leaving on loan was one big step in the right direction that we needed to do. Manchester United needs to get rid of Pereira. We need to get rid of Lingard. If we're going to sign someone like Tchouameni, or maybe not according to Fabrizio Romano, or someone like Camavinga. By the way, when you really look at the two players, Tchouameni and Camavinga, they really are quite similar in that they're, I mean, he's obviously got 3 years on him. So Tchouameni's a far more established player, but still only 21. It's kind of, football players get good at such a young age these days that even at 21, you can have so much experience under your belt. Hell, look at Jadon Sancho. Ridiculous amount of football and quality. Let me head down to the comments here and see what you are saying. Let's go down here. You're on the screen. Look, if you're new in town, this has to be the most interactive show on United's YouTube sphere. I try and make it as interactive as possible. Keep getting you involved. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. If you want to become a member, go down there. Everything that comes into the channel is going to be invested back into the channel. But let me see what you're saying in the comments today. Josh, you're saying everyone keeps going on about playing Lindelof as a central midfielder, but it's the stupidest possible statement. Give up, man. I personally would, you know, I'm not going to call people stupid, but the idea of just forcing Lindelof to play central defensive midfield, man, stop it. Don't try and find, what is it, round peg, square holes, whatever it is, round. You know what I mean? He doesn't fit there. Don't try and force it out of it. He might be all right there, but this is not a situation where Manchester United have to try and get. It's like playing Michael Carrick at centre-back. Yeah, he could play centre-back, but his best position was not centre-back. So what are you doing? Simple as that. Manchester United, if we don't sign a defensive midfielder, we're gonna see a lot of that double pivot this season. Fred and McTominay. Given that we won 5-1 against Leeds, maybe it's better than we can give it credit for. And Fred scored a goal. But it's not those games where Manchester United have become unstuck. Games where Manchester United go up against a team that is aggressive against us, comes out against us. We've always played quite well against them. It's the teams that play the low block. So when we go and play Norwich, for example, this season, you can expect them to sit in a disciplined 4-4-2 or a 4-5-1, and Manchester United to struggle to break it down. And in that situation, that's where you don't want Fred and McTominay playing. And that is why a 4-3-3 was always going to be best in that scenario, with one holding midfielder to get Pogba and Bruno further up the pitch. Simple as that. Isaac Montoya, how are you saying? Pure central defensive midfielder, Edson Alvarez from Ajax. What do I think? I haven't watched enough of Ajax or Edson Alvarez to really have a true comment on that. But I mean, Isaac, even if it's that lad, even if it's anybody else, it doesn't really seem like Manchester United are interested in signing a pure defensive midfielder. Wilfred Ndidi was the perfect example. If we had the ambition, I think we've got the money. If we had the ambition of really going out and getting that defensive mid, we would have signed Wilfred Ndidi. But we haven't been linked with him at all. Declan Rice, the links were never there. The price was always going to be too much. That was never going to happen. But I don't know. It seems to me like Manchester United are far more interested in signing a central midfielder who has the ability to defend as part of his game. So someone like Tchouameni or someone like Camavinga. Camavinga he doesn't have a set position at this age, 18. He's a raw midfielder who effectively you can turn into any sort of midfielder that you want. If you coach him for the next 3 years as an attacking midfielder, he'd be an attacking midfielder. If you coach him as a defensive midfielder, he'd be a defensive midfielder. He's malleable. You can mould him. Tchouameni seemed he seems a bit more physical than Camavinga, certainly more built out. Both of them look excellent. Ruben Neves would be excellent. We need one of them. And the fact that Pereira is leaving to go to Flamengo, box 1 has been ticked. We need that to happen. We also need Jesse Lingard to go to West Ham. That's the single most important thing that needs to happen at Manchester United in the next week. Give it a week, which will give us 5 days to then go and sign a defensive midfielder. It's going to be late. It's going to be a bit of a rush for Manchester United towards the end of this window, but we've at least got Varane and Sancho over the line. It's whether or not we can turn a good window into a great window. That's the issue. So previous years of Manchester United in the transfer window, going into the last week or two, it was like, how do we turn a bad window into a good window? The progress this summer has at least been that now we're sitting here with a good window already. And hopefully we can make it a great window by getting Lingard off the books, by getting Pereira off the books, by maybe getting a loan spell for Ahmed or Elanga, which I'll get into in a bit, and signing a defensive midfielder. How are we doing in the comments here? We've got Stephen. How you doing? Stefan, sorry. How you doing, Stefan? I see you there. JJ, you're saying Neves would be perfect. Bruno teaming up with him would be a bonus. It would be perfect. It really, really would be perfect. And once again, I want to apologise. Gary, I can see you in the comments here from Facebook. I really want to apologise to anybody who's here joining from Facebook. I scheduled the event. I did all the work this morning. I went to go live and the event disappeared. The event just disappeared. It wasn't there. I have no idea why it did that, but I have to keep looking into it. But Facebook at the moment is just not working properly. I'll get it fixed though. Make sure you drop a like if you're new in town. Make sure you subscribe as well. But Camavinga, Tchouameni, Neves. Tchouameni, I thought was a story. I was excited about that. Then Fabrizio came and took a dump on my chest midway through the stream and said we're not interested in him. Thank you very much for that, Fabrizio. Maybe I'll get Fabrizio on for an interview again. Maybe I will. Had a little email chat with him last week. Secret squirrel. Anyway, let's move on from Tchouameni. Let's move on from Camavinga. And let's move on to Paul Pogba. Because this has been a article that was written this morning by Laurie Whitwell on The Athletic. And it really was an excellent bit of insight into Paul Pogba. The crux of the story is basically Manchester United, as you see from the headline, United impressed by a fit and firing Pogba, but have had no response over the contract offer. We go down here, we're saying that basically Paul Pogba has been out in Miami with Miami Heat's physical department. I don't know. Anyway, he's been staying fit during the summer, even after the Euros, and therefore has come back in shape. But this is the important bit here. The Athletic has been told that fresh terms, a significant improvement on his £290,000 per week, were offered during the second part of 2020-21, but Pogba is yet to respond to that proposal. Sources believe the offer was as much as £400,000 per week, making Pogba the highest paid player at United, above De Gea's £375, and stretching to 2025 with the option of a third year. The deal is said to remain on the table, but it is expected that the uncertainty will extend beyond the end of the current transfer window, which is exactly what I thought would happen. Now, you let me know what you think about that in the comments, and I'll read plenty of your opinions out. But Paul Pogba, do you think he deserves to be our highest paid player at the club? Do you want him to sign that new contract? Would you rather Manchester United moved him on? You let me know in the comments. Al Williams, I can see you, my friend. You've joined as a squad member. Big up to you for joining, Al. Welcome to the United People's TV family. Oh, also today I will get the winner sorted for the hoodie giveaway from the guys at Old School Football. As you can see, repping, what am I repping today? 1968 blue long sleeve. I think this is what Georgie Best wore. Yeah, it is what they wore in the final. Yeah, I love this kit. Cracking kit. Anyway, let's talk about Paul Pogba. So £400,000 a week would make him the best paid player at Manchester United. Do you think that we should be after him? Gary, how you doing, Gary from Facebook? You're saying 100% he does. Ewan Riddle, you're saying yes, he needs to stay. He's one of the best players on the pitch. Irfane, you're disagreeing, saying no. Paul Pogba out, Van der Beek in. Chris, you're saying just need to wait and see, but Pogba, we need him to sign 100%. And I know it's a repeated story. I know. Look, we kind of go around in a little bit of circles with Paul Pogba, don't we? Because my opinion on him hasn't changed. If you want to go and win the Premier League and that's your ambition, you don't let players like Paul Pogba leave your football club, and certainly not on a free transfer. It's as simple as that. So unfortunately, there's going to be a side story, a circus around Paul Pogba between now and January. He won't sign before the end of the transfer window. Simple as that. There's no chance that Pogba signs that deal. It's not in his best interests to. And he will go for what his best interests are. And therefore, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with Paul Pogba. If he's been offered 400 grand a week, he'll probably get, well, he would get more than that at PSG next year, because he would be a free transfer. He would get a signing on bonus. So in terms of monetary terms, PSG would be able to blow United out the water come January, come the point when Pogba is allowed to speak to foreign clubs about a free transfer next summer. But if United have offered him 400 grand a week, there is nothing more that Manchester United can do. Manchester United have already done everything we can do to keep Paul Pogba at the club. Now, if you go down here to read on in this article. They're saying that something that was factored into it was the fact that Manchester United didn't offer Paul Pogba a contract. Let me see down here. No, it's not down there. They were saying that something that's played into this is the fact that United didn't. There you go. There is another factor at play too. Read this bit here. Let me get this up for you on the old share screen. There is another factor at play too. Last summer, after Pogba had returned in good form post-lockdown from a lengthy winter and ankle injury layoff to help United secure Champions League qualification, Jesus is wordy, there was no new deal put forward. Instead, United triggered the existing one-year contract, and he felt disappointed by that United didn't offer him a new deal at that particular moment in time. I'll be honest, if that is part of it, I'd say, hey, Pogba, mate, get over yourself. Football's football. Football moves on. Don't be holding grudges like that. But 400 grand a week is. I've maintained my stance on Paul Pogba has a little bit chopped and changed in the last 12 months or so, and I'll be honest, like lots of it has for a lot of us. Back in, I think it was November, I said, look, Paul Pogba's got to go. The circus is done. It's game over, man. Like, why are we still going through this? And since then, I've softened a little bit because I've seen Manchester United sign Rafael Varane. I've seen Manchester United sign Jadon Sancho. And I've seen Paul Pogba have an absolutely mustard few performances at the Euros with France. And I'm looking at this club now and I'm thinking, hey, look, man, we're on the cusp of having a team that is genuine title contenders. I think we are title contenders, but I don't think we're genuine title contenders, which sounds like a weird thing to say. But we are title contenders this season. But I'm expecting disappointment. I'm expecting us to flop and falter at moments where championship winning teams don't. And that's because we don't have a central midfielder, like a proper holding central midfielder, in my opinion anyway. But I would love to be proven wrong. And prior to signing Sancho and prior to signing Varane, there was no chance that Pogba was going to stay at United. We were, as far as he was concerned, the logic of going to play with Messi and Ramos. I mean, PSG will, of course, be a lure. Obviously, the banners that came up outside PSG Stadium, because Pogba's parents are both Marseille fans and Marseille and Paris, they don't have the best relationship in terms of the two clubs. So it's not as simple as Pogba's going to be joining PSG on a free transfer. But if Paul Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United, if he's a happy Manchester United player, like he was against Leeds, getting 4 assists, although Graham Souness, you still can't compliment him, as you saw in my video yesterday. Fuck Graham Souness and his agenda that's ridden with horrible undertones. If Paul Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United and he's a happy player and he thinks Man United can win the title and he wants to be part of that, you're damn right I want that Paul Pogba at my football club. He's so good. So good against... It wasn't just the fact that he got 4 assists against Leeds. It was like the first one was a little dink round the corner to Bruno. The second one was a lovely through ball in behind to Greenwood. The third, was it the fourth? No, the fourth was a little pass across to Fred. I can't remember what the other assist was. But I'd love Paul Pogba to stay at the club. If he's on 400 grand a week, look, De Gea shouldn't be on 375 grand a week. So it's not that much difference to give Paul Pogba 400 grand a week. Simple as that. I'll go down here, look in the comments and see what you're saying. Ahmed, you're saying we aren't in for Tchouameni? Look, Fabrizio said we're not in for him. Other journalists have said we are in for him. Let's see how this develops. But what I've said there, and I'll stand by it, it doesn't really matter. There's a pattern that has emerged, really. If we're looking at central midfielders that we're getting linked with, or not linked with, either way, this is a pattern that I think we've got. Certainly with Camavinga and Neves. Look, Neves certainly holding midfield is his primary position, but he's all over the pitch. He's a central midfielder. Camavinga, he's not a holding midfielder. He's all over the pitch. He's a central midfielder. Tchouameni, he's all over the pitch. He's a central midfielder. Manchester United, it seems, this summer are not after a pure number 6, a pure holding midfielder of the mould of Ndidi or Kante or Fabinho. It seems that Manchester United are going after somebody who's a bit more dynamic, a bit more like Neves, a bit more like Camavinga or Tchouameni, who does have good defensive attributes to his game. You look at Tchouameni for Ligue 1 last season, had over 5 tackles and interceptions per game. Neves had over 4. Camavinga had over 4. We're looking for a player, by the looks of things, who can do that double pivot better than Fred. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got huge faith in Scott McTominay. And I don't think any signing is going to really get him out of the squad. I think with Fred, I think Fred's going to become a backup to the likes. It depends on what formation we do. If we still hold these two pivots, look, there's so many issues, man, you can run into. But the only reason that we had Paul Pogba playing on left wing against Leeds was because Rashford was injured. If Rashford was injured, Paul Pogba would have started in midfield alongside McTominay or Fred. Simple as that. It was a situation which was born out of necessity rather than Solskjaer having a... I'm not saying that Solskjaer is not... I'm not having a go at Solskjaer doing this, but it's just facts. If Rashford was fit, Rashford would have started out on the left wing and Paul Pogba wouldn't have got 4 assists and we wouldn't have beaten Leeds 5-1. But that's where Paul Pogba needs to play. And it's exactly why that holding midfielder is so crucial, because you play a 4-3-3 with one holding midfielder, with 2 central midfielders. It allows you to play Rashford on the left wing and Paul Pogba in his best position. Whereas at the moment, you're only going to play Paul Pogba out there on the left if Rashford's not there. And he's not there until October, so maybe it's not really a conversation we really need to have. But let me know what you think about everything in the comments below. I'll go down there and read them off. Tell you one thing, I'm really annoyed about Facebook, man. God damn it. I apologise to everybody who normally watches on Facebook, because so many people I can see, I can't even tell you how many people followed in the last 20 minutes because we were going live on Facebook. Really annoying. Let me go down to the comments here. We've got Flory Vision. You're saying, I don't know why Bissouma isn't scouted. That guy's good. He has Premier League experience under the belt. Hey, look, I agree with you there. Like, we're talking about the same Bissouma from Brighton. There's plenty of players. You can throw Ndombele in there from Spurs. You can throw... There's so many midfielders that we could have been going after. So many midfielders that we haven't really gone after. And it must be because I don't know. I can't explain it. I really can't explain it. That's why I'm so annoyed, really, about the fact that Manchester United haven't... I've always said it's the most important signing Manchester United had to make this summer. Chris, how you doing, my friend? Nice to see you in the comments. Hey, look, if you want to support the channel like Chris, fire in a super chat with your questions. I won't miss it. I'll definitely answer your question. That's what the super chats are for. And also, as a member, you get your priority read out. Your priority comments. Your comments will be read out with a bigger priority. I don't know how to describe that sentence, but it's a member perk. So join if you want to get involved in that. Chris, you're saying an on-form Pogba you just can't deal with. One of the best players in the Premier League, but he just needs freedom to do his thing. Can't disagree with anything you said there, Chris, and it all comes down to formation. It all comes down to position. If you force Paul Pogba to play in a pivot alongside McTominay or Fred, you're not getting that performance from Pogba. If you allow him to play out on the left, and it wasn't, he was technically out on the left wing as part of a 4-2-3-1, but he was an inside forward. He stayed central. Pogba didn't really go out wide left. We didn't really have too much of a threat out wide left, but we didn't need it because we had Paul Pogba going through the middle. It was very much central attacking against Leeds, and it was good because, you know, I think that's where you're going to get the best out of Paul Pogba. Keep him central. Dan James was very ineffective against Leeds. We weren't really looking for the runs in behind, unless you Mason Greenwood in the second half. Give up on Rice, says Josh. We're not ever going to sign him. Look, Josh is right, ladies and gents. There's no point mentioning Declan Rice's name, man. What is he, 80, 100 mil? We ain't signing Declan Rice. Simple as that. Absolutely simple as that. West Ham have priced Rice out of a move this summer. He will go somewhere next year for around 50 million. Will he go somewhere like... He'll probably go to Chelsea next year for between 50 and 70 million. You heard it here first. That's going to be Declan Rice's future. It's got nothing to do with Manchester United, in my own opinion. Irfan, you're saying Manchester United have the best teams now. Oh, look, we've got a cracking team. We have, but we're still missing that central midfielder. Romano has blown the Tchouameni deal out of the way. Look, it's very unfair that he did that because he's maybe looking a right mug. But, oh well, I don't care. Because as I said, as I pointed out here, it's that pattern. We're not after a pure defensive midfielder. We're after a central midfielder, which kind of hints towards the fact that Solskjaer is going to stick with his 4-2-3-1. Instead of all those stories this summer that were saying that Manchester United and Solskjaer was looking to switch to a more aggressive and attacking 4-3-3, which is what I wanted. But I don't think it's going to happen. James Garner breakthrough, says Ewan. Hey, look, let's see what goes on with James Garner this year. But let's head over here and we can see that Manchester United are certainly thinking about shifting. Oh, geez. Shifting him out on loan. The Times are saying that Ahmad, Shoda Shoretire, Anthony Elanga, Teden Menge and James Garner could all be loaned out. And bear in mind, Manchester United have already been busy in the loan market. We've got Twenzebe's gone to Villa. Brandon Williams is going to Norwich. Chong's gone to Birmingham. Dishon Bernard has gone to Hull. Pelistri has gone to Alaves. United have done pretty well so far, I think, in the actual loan window. Loans are always... A good loan is great for a player. A bad loan is crap for a player. So those loans all seem quite good to me. And I'll be interested. I don't think we should let Ahmad go on loan. We had a discussion about this yesterday. Shoda Shoretire for sure. Strikes me as the Championship would probably suit him well. Anthony Elanga, I think for the fact that we've got Rashford out until October, I don't think that he should be going anywhere. Teden Mengi, he might be going back to Derby with Rooney. James Garner, he's linked with Nottingham Forest. I think Shoda Shoretire, Mengi and Garner. Out of those three, I'd be happy for those three to go on loan, but I want to keep Elanga at the club. I want to keep Ahmad at the club. I think we need options on the bench in attack this year. With Rashford being out, injured until October, certainly. And Elanga had an excellent pre-season. I think he'll do him well. We've got a new member. We've got Sylvester Falla joined as a team captain. Big up to you, Sylvester. Team captain. Where are you watching from, mate? You let me know in the comments below, and I'll definitely give you a quick shout out. Let me go down to the comments and see what's saying here. Andrew, you're saying that Garner should be drafted into the first team to learn the trade. I don't want Manchester United to be learning the trade in defensive midfield this year. It's too important a position to learn the trade. It's as simple as that. I want Garner to get game time. I want Garner to improve, but I don't think that's a right idea. I'm sure in cup games, but James Garner would learn a hell of a lot more at Nottingham Forest for another full season than he would at Manchester United this year in a position which is so crucial to us. Surav and Anuj both firing in some super chats. Let me read them out for you now. 400k a week is too much for a player, says Surav, who seems to be in his zone. Don't need a Sanchez situation again. Worried though for Chelsea. The team looks immense. I don't think you can fairly compare Pogba and Sanchez in any way, shape or form. Sanchez did not give a fuck about Manchester United. He didn't even want to join Manchester United before he joined Manchester United. And he couldn't wait to leave as soon as he joined. A bit like Angel Di Maria. He wanted PSG, came to United and he's like, mm. Sanchez wanted City, but we paid more. It's the only reason he joined. Pogba, very different. I think 400k a week is a lot of money, but if De Gea's on 375, then you can't argue that Paul Pogba's not worth 400, in my opinion. That's just what we've done with our own wages. Anuj, you're saying, good morning, Sam. According to you, Wolverine and Sancho start this weekend, and Pogba should be played in the position he played against Leeds. Anuj, I will give you that tomorrow in my predicted 11 for Southampton. Keep that on my chest. So make sure you watch that video tomorrow. And Paul Pogba, I think, will be played in that same position. So I'll give you that much. I do not think that Paul Pogba will be moving around. I don't think that... Why would you change that? Solskjaer was probably criticised heavily. I mean, he was criticised heavily for that game against Leeds, for playing Dan James from the start, for playing Fred from the start, for playing McTominay from the start. Dan James had a bit of a bad game, but we've got Jadon Sancho who might come in against Leeds. I think he should come in, but let's see what happens. But Fred and McTominay proved their worth in that game. Fred scored a goal. McTominay was excellent as a dynamic central midfielder. I think they'll both start again. Against Southampton, how do they play? Let's see. Southampton, if they're smart about it, will sit quite deep. Will sit disciplined. But Raphael Varane, oh, I can't wait to see him starting alongside Harry Maguire. No offence to Victor Lindelof, but let me go down here. Got Maxwell, a member watching from Dublin, Ireland. Good morning to you, Maxwell. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you very much for being part of the family. Probably you're saying we need a central defensive midfielder that will start and knows the role. Look, I've said that all along because I want that push to a 4-3-3. Not only would it make us a better balanced team with our shape, it will get the most out of Paul Pogba permanently playing in a left central midfield position and not a double pivot or out in the left wing. It will get the most out of Bruno Fernandes playing in that similar sort of role. In this current formation, you either get the most out of Bruno or the most out of Pogba, unless you can play Pogba out on the left and let him drift inside and basically rely on Luke Shaw with the overlapping runs to give width to the left. He can do that now. That's how good Shaw is, and that's probably why we still had some balance to our shape against Leeds, because if you watch Paul Pogba's positioning, he drifted inside a lot. That's what worked. Worked for him. Worked for United. We won 5-1. And Paul Pogba got 4 assists, so it definitely worked. But if Shaw wasn't there doing the overlapping runs, we would have found ourselves... Leeds would have squeezed in, compacted the space, and we would have found it very, very difficult to break through. But yeah, I would love us to sign a defensive midfielder, an out-and-out, pure world-class one, and I think we win the league this year. Simple as that. I don't think we will without one. And I'd love to be proven wrong. I really, really, really want to be proven wrong. I don't think I will be, but there's nothing to say that I won't. Let me go down to the comments here. Probably you're saying we need more formation options, 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1. Look, let's see what happens and develops. Throughout this entire summer, we've seen stories from loads of reliable sources saying that Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer want to switch to a more aggressive 4-3-3. That's what we've seen. We haven't seen it happen yet. Cool. But we all want it to happen. Let's see if it does. But for me, it happening relies on us signing a proper central midfielder with real defensive capabilities to his game. That might have been Tchouameni, unless your name's Fabrizio Romano, and then you come and poo-poo on that. It might be Camavinga, but that story's gone a little bit dead. We know the price. But hell, we knew that Cavani was a free transfer, and we waited until transfer deadline day to sign him last summer. So maybe we'll do the same thing with Camavinga, but with Ren, I don't know why they would do that, because it doesn't give them the ability to spend that money. Issue for them. Ruben Neves, you already know what I think about Ruben Neves. Sandy Roy, you're saying it's high time Ollie picks a system formation which is in line with United's attacking DNA. Look, Sandy, we won 5-1 against Leeds. Bruno Fernandes scored a hat-trick. That is United's DNA. Simple as that. Winning, goals, being 2-3-1 up, going after it again. Hell, that's what we want to see. But I would love to see that 4-3-3 switch. Just like you would, Sandy. Bazzy, how you doing, mate? You're joining. Round of applause to Bazzy. Joining as a UPTV legend. Big up to you, my friend. How are you doing? Where are you watching this from in the comments? You let me know, Bazzy, and I'll give you a big shout out. If you want to join Bazzy and become part of the family, hit that join button down below there. Less than the price of a pint if you want it. There's 3 different tiers. The cheapest one, less than the price of a pint. Anything that does come in is only going to get reinvested back into the channel. Like the video that's coming tomorrow from the editor. Did you like the soonest one? I didn't really like doing it, if I'm being completely honest. It's a topic which made me feel slightly uncomfortable because whether you want to admit it or not, there's racial undertones with Souness and his way of approaching Paul Pogba by comparison of others. There is a lack of balance to his comments, and it either screams that he hates Paul Pogba individually or it's something else. And look. I was uncomfortable doing it, but I felt like I needed to do it. Somebody needs to call out that bullshit. And judging by the comments, a lot of you agree with me. Bazzy, you're watching from San Diego in California. How is it out in California? I'd love to go there, man. San Diego was part of my trip that I was doing a few years ago. But it is what it is. Gary, you're saying, Sam, I can't send super chats or become a member on YouTube. I don't know why that is, because as you can see, Bazzy's just joined there as a member, Gary. Maybe it's your account. I'm not really sure, because yesterday a few people said that they couldn't send super chats in. A few of you have sent it in, so I'm a bit confused. So normally if it doesn't work for everybody. But some people are doing it and some people aren't doing it. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm trying to get used to this new setup. It's really quite annoying me because it's not working properly. But let me go down here. Do I think Locatelli would be worth a look? Says N354HM. Maybe, but he's just joined Juventus, mate. So I don't really think so. Gary, it's saying region not supported. Oh, that's a bit strange. Yeah, where are you from, Gary? Let me know. If anybody else is having problems with super chats or problems with memberships, can you please tweet me at @sampeoples_ with any issues so I can go to YouTube and say, look, pull your finger out. You're stopping this from happening, and I'll get the problem fixed. But I don't know, unless you tweet me at @sampeoples_, I won't be able to really help you. So please do, because I want you to help. The Isle of Man. Well, it's a very small place, the Isle of Man, but I will try and get that sorted for you, Gary. As always, everyone now fire in your comments, fire in your questions, fire in your super chats. I'll do that for the last 5-10 minutes, and I'll do a quick recap for anybody who. Look, we've got a new subscriber. We've got Ragul. How you doing, Ragul? Thank you very much for subscribing. Got a little shout out on screen there. Look at that. Part of the gang. But let's run through everything. I came here really excited to run through all the Tchouameni stories. And then Fabrizio Romano came and said, now, we're not in talks with Tchouameni. Well, I'm still going to look at him. Thank you very much, mate. Because, as I said, I spotted the pattern that's going emerging. If you look at Tchouameni's heat map there, you look at Camavinga's heat map. Ooh, that's a very quiet heat map. That's the wrong season. You look at Neves' heat map. Why does he keep switching? Go away. All three of them are not defensive midfielders properly. They are more dynamic central midfielders. It seems like United are going after one of them. Pape Sarr is another one that we're getting linked with there. Over on United People's TV, we covered that news. Declan Rice, we're not getting him. Pape Sarr, again, if you look at his map, he's out on the left. No one's really a pure defensive midfielder like Ndidi. That's what I can really spot from the stories. We had a nice conversation here about Paul Pogba, an excellent article from Laurie Whitwell over on The Athletic about how he is getting like 400 grand a week offer from Manchester United, hasn't responded to it yet. Let's see what develops there. And then look, we talked about these lads going out on loan. I want to see Ahmad stay, and I want to see Anthony Elanga stay. I think Mengi, Garner, and Shoretiro, I think all three of them should be going out on loan. Let's go down here and head back to the comments as always. Anna's saying, hey Sam, where's your old studio with the Champions League trophy at the back? I really like that background. How's the weather in your area? Grey and warm. That old studio, maybe it will come back at some point, but it's not here at the moment. Although don't worry, ladies and gents, because I'm moving to a new place soon, and the studio is going to be, it's going to get sexier. I guarantee it gets sexier. Abby, you're saying, I hope Jones won't end up playing DM. I would cry my heart out. There's no way that happens. Why'd you put that thought in my head? I did not need that thought in my head, man. My God. Matthew, you're saying down there, I hope you're not lying. You're saying it's your birthday today. Everyone give a shout out to Matthew Planky in the comments. Member of the family, how are you doing? Thank you very much for joining in, Matt, on your birthday. I hope you're going out and getting absolutely wrecked tonight. Because Thursday, as we all know, is the new Friday. Proper Geezer, you're asking what the sub count is. Let's go over there and have a look. Because I tell you what, I've got another bloody giveaway to organise, haven't I? You guys are rinsing me with these. I'm joking. I'm absolutely joking when I'm saying that. It's great. But I need to get the giveaway winner chosen for the hoodie. I'll do that today, and I'll announce it over on Discord and on Twitter as to which one of you lucky people has won that great United red hoodie from the guys over at Old School Football. But let's head down to the subscriber count. Let's see how we're getting on. Right. So we are at full shared screen. We are at 202,108. So we hit the 100 mark on it. So we're on the way towards 203,000. I'll say it now before I wrap up the stream this morning. If you're new in town, welcome aboard. This is United People's TV. It's really interactive. It's really engaging here. I get all of you involved as possible. Having some teething problems this week with a new setup that I'm doing, new setup that I've worked on, but it will get better. I apologize to everybody, Gary, and everybody who normally watches on Facebook. I need to get that sorted, but make sure you subscribe if you're new in town. I really hope you enjoy the shows. I really enjoy it. Look, we've got Anna, Sandy, Klein, Abby, Richard. So many of you in the comments who are regulars. Big fans of all of you. Look, I won't be here tomorrow for a live stream. I'm away for a couple of days, but there'll be a video coming out tomorrow, which is my predicted 11 for the Southampton game. And luckily, I'm going to the Southampton game on Sunday. I've managed to bag myself a ticket. The first away game in a couple of years for Manchester United. Going to be meeting up with friends I haven't seen in a couple of years. So the match reaction might be a little bit different to the Leeds one. It won't be with this setup. That's not St Mary's anymore. I don't know the name of their stadium. Anyway, I'll be down in Southampton for the game. It's going to be cracking on Sunday. I cannot wait for that. Rafael Varane's debut, maybe. Sancho starting for the first time, maybe. Hope so. But I'll have my predicted 11 out tomorrow. Thank you very much for all joining in this morning. Looking forward to when this channel keeps growing and getting bigger and bigger, and these comments get even more exciting. But thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for being involved. I apologise about the teething problems with the new setup, but I'll be honest, I think it looks nice. Thank you very much for all joining in. Did you like the intro? Well, fuck it. Have the outro as well. Have a good day, and I'll see you live on Monday, but there's a video going out on Friday, and my match reaction will be out on Sunday as well. Take it easy.